Hey everyone, it's Dominic from the Primetime Treasure eBay store and YouTube channel. Welcome to part 3 of my bookkeeping series for resellers. In this video, I'm going to cover how to use Microsoft Excel as a free program to account for your basic costs over the course of the year so that you are prepared when it comes to taking all those deductions that you need for tax season. Also, if you have not seen the first 2 videos, just know that they are linked down below in the description section. The first video, I covered Microsoft Excel just as a basic overview, but also covered 2 programs that would cost you something. That would be GoDaddy's program, which a lot of people use for online bookkeeping, and also QuickBooks. So you could check that video out as well. And in the second video that I did, I covered how to use Microsoft Excel for free to account for your mileage over the course of the year, because your miles can be deducted just as long as you account for them properly. But let's jump into this video, which has to do with using Excel for free to account for your costs. Now, if you have never opened an Excel file before, just as a basic tutorial, really quick, this is what it is going to look like. You're going to have all these blank fields in the form of a spreadsheet, and basically you could type any kind of text into it. Like if you want to account for the date, you just type in the word date. You could make it bold. You could make the font larger like that if you would like. You could extend the fields out just by dragging it out like that, and simply just type in what you would like. So if we want to type in today's date, there it is. If we want to make it larger, we just select the field and we just select the font size that we want. Sometimes you have to extend it out so it doesn't show those little number signs like that. Now, if we want to put, in terms of cost, we want to just enter something like that. We just type in cost, and that would be a dollar value that we want to get in there. Now, if you just typed in 5.60 for $5.60, it's just going to show up as 5.6. But if we want to change that field to one that is going to account for currency, we just right-click it, we hit Format Cells, you hit the word currency, and then OK, because we're going to use the first option. So as you can see here now, when you type in 5.6, it turns it into $5.60. I'll make that larger in case you want to see it, and I'll do that by also showing you that if you just hit the Shift key and select and hit the your mouse, you could just select both fields at once, and you can make them large at the same time just by doing something like that, or you can make them bold at the same time like that. So that's a basic overview of how to use it. Now let me show you how you would apply it. For example, this show you some of my actual numbers for the course of the beginning of this reselling year. And what you'll see is I want to focus on these first 4 labels here. I have it organized by date, I have it organized by cost, I have it organized by item, and then I also have a column that goes over what I call the cost type. So let me just break that down step by step with some of these. So date, obviously that's the date in which the cost was incurred. So here we have January 2nd, 2018. What's the cost? The cost here has to do with the shipping cost. So, and how do we know that? Because I have that organized here under cost type. I'll show you why it's so important to list the cost type in Microsoft Excel, and just for accounting purposes at the end of the year. But I put it in nice bold letters like that. So as you see there, it says shipping, and it's through eBay's USPS. In other words, I printed the label out through eBay, and it went out via USPS. Now you will notice I do not put FedEx costs in here as an itemized cost, because the way it works with FedEx, if you ship FedEx, that cost is automatically deducted from your eBay. It's put into your eBay fees each month. And if you look down here, you'll see I actually have a space for my eBay fees. So within that, you see $252.25. That right there, that contains partly my fees for FedEx. So that's included in there. Also included in there would be eBay store fees and final value fees. That's what's in there. So I don't have that broken out separately, and that's why, because it's all within the eBay fees right there. Now, let's go up here. Now, your shipping costs through the United States Postal Service, that is not included in your eBay fees that are put at the end of the month that they send you that you have to pay. So that's why I break it out separately. So here you can see I spent $3.74 to ship out a wooden model of New York City in a box. And so that's just, something that documents that right there. Now, I also need to spend 99 cents a month for Apple iCloud storage so I could store all the emails and all other information relating to my reselling business. So I just account for that right there as a supply. So it's separate from shipping. It is a supply. You'll also see here I have things like food and drink. So if I go for lunch while sourcing and I spend $3.24 on January 6th, I have that listed there, as well as the McDonald's and the address of which it is located. But if I am, now the thing is, you want to account for where you were that day too. You say you were sourcing. Well, if you get audited, you better be able to show you actually were sourcing that day and you're not just deducting meals just for the purpose of deducting meals. So you could see here, I was in the area. You see here, that was Liverpool, New York, and I was also at an estate sale that same day where I purchased 26 vintage items for $17. You don't have to literally detail every single item. You can be general with it, but there you see 26 vintage items on January 6th. Now, I didn't put the address in here for the purpose of this video. I deleted it because I don't want to give away people's home addresses. It's fine to give away the address to McDonald's, but people's home address I don't want to put in there. So, but normally you would put that in there. You just, add the address right here. So let's say, for example, it was, I'll just make something up, 123 Smith Road. I just put that in there for documentation purposes. Now, other things that I would put in here, let's see, we've got eBay fees. This is just a little sampling, and so the basic ones are the shipping, supplies, the food and drink, and the inventory. However, there can be things like tolls. If you have to pay tolls, you could document that as well. I don't put the state in here because I purchase everything in New York for inventory. However, if you are sourcing from multiple states, then you would want to put the state in there. If you're paying an admission fee to get in somewhere where you would source, like a convention or something, put that in there as well, that you were charged an admission fee. So that's something that you could put in there too. So those are really the main things. Another thing you might want to put in there as well, well, you would want to put it in there if you have this charge, would be advertising fees. So if you're advertising for your business, make sure you list that as well. Maybe you put up a Google ad, or maybe you put up an ad on Facebook. Just make sure you enter that too. So what would happen is that once you get to the end of the year, you just hit summary right here. You just click on this first field that's empty underneath all the costs, and you just hit this FX button, and this will bring that stands for function. And just like I showed you in the miles video, it'll bring up one option. The top option is sum. That's a summary. Just hit OK, and you can see here that'll tell you the fields that it's going to capture, that it's going to add up. So it says B2 to B31. So I'll show you that in a second. I'm just going to hit OK, and you'll see this number, $430.77. That covered field B. See right there, each one of these columns has a letter B. Each row has a number. So it's B2. It's adding B2 all the way up to B31. Now that's great to just give you a summary of all of your charges for the year. However, you will want to break these down according to exactly what it is that you used it for. So we want to know, for example, for tax purposes, how much did we spend on shipping? how much did we pay on food and drink? Because if you just go and try to deduct by, let's say this is the end of the year and it's $4,000, and you just say, well, I just want to deduct $4,000 in cost, that's not really going to fly. You need to show on your taxes exactly what it is that you're deducting for. So the way you basically would go and do that is we're going to go to this column right here, which is cost type. And what you're going to see here, I'm just going to select it just by hitting the letter right there. And we're going to go to sort the data. So we're going to go to data, and you can see here we have the word sort. So we want to sort it, and I'm just going to continue with the current selection. So we'll sort it. And you see here, I can sort it from A to Z. And so I want to sort it from A to Z. We're going to sort what it calls values. Now, when it says values, don't get tricked on that. That's assuming that there would be numbers in there. There's no numbers. We just have text. So we're just going to sort it from A to Z. So we're just going to hit OK. And now what you'll see, for example, and I'm just going to use shipping, but if you can imagine over the course of the year, there's going to be, you know, right here you only see I have a few things listed for inventory, but over the course of the year there'll be a lot of it. But let's just take shipping, for example. If we want to figure out how much we spent on shipping, all we have to do is go right here, is we'll just select all the shipping costs right there. So shipping right there from top to bottom, and I'm just going to hit right click, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to take it out, and if I want to, I could just go over here and put it in a separate field and just click anywhere I want and just hit paste. And we don't have to do this next part, but I'm just going to expand the fields out just so it's easier to see what it is that I'm showing you here. So this is basically all my shipping costs for the year. Now this does not take long to do. I just cut and paste, and I'm just going to go right here, the first field underneath the last numerical entry, and I'm just going to hit function again, and I'm going to hit summary. And it's going to cover anything from G4 to G23. I'm going to hit OK. So let's see, G4, it automatically detects it to G23. That tells me that of my, right over here, let's go to our summary, of my $430.77, I spent $366.74 on shipping. So that's how you break it out. It's very, very simple, very easy to do. I know on the automated programs it will automatically spit this stuff out to you really fast, and you don't even have to do this step, but that's the extra steps that you have to take for, you know, for a free version. So you have to determine, is the length of time that you spent doing those extra steps worth it in terms of saving, let's say, $120 a year on on a bookkeeping program or more. If you want to see what some of the costs are, just go to my first video. That'll give you a good sampling. So that's just what you would do for all these things. So the process I just showed you, just repeat it for inventory, for food and drink, for eBay fees. You'll have 12 of those at the end of the year, and that's it. You just add it up. So the key with this, to being successful with it, is you have to make sure that you keep up with it. So when you have to come up with a routine. So when you come home, you have to make sure it's part of your routine to enter your inventory costs into here. It doesn't have to literally be the moment you walk in the door, although it's helpful to get into that type of mindset. Or just make sure you have your receipts right next to you, so that at your table where you do your work, so at the end of the evening you make sure you enter it there as well. You have to be structured with it. Whenever I ship something out, so when I get done with this video, I have an item that's sold tonight, I have to ship it, I will automatically enter that cost right here. It has to go in there before I even print out my shipping label. So it just becomes part of your automated routine, and that's how you don't forget to put anything in there. Now I will show you a couple other things as kind of a bonus feature for this video in terms of some other costs that you should be accounting for that you can deduct. Now this is only if you have a home business, if you're set up as an LLC, which I strongly advise you to do if you are serious about your reselling business and really want to become official with it, is to set up as an LLC. I would advise you to hire an attorney to help you do that, so you make sure you cross all of your T's and dot all of your I's, but it allows you to take a lot of deductions for your home business. Here And keep in mind, as I say all this stuff, I'm not an attorney and I am not an accountant. I am just passing on to you information that I know of from going through this process before. But if you have a home business and there's parts of your home that are dedicated to running your business, there's lots of different things that you can deduct for helping run your business. That would include your Verizon cell phone bill, or over here we have Verizon Fios. That can all be deducted, the cost of your home internet, of your home phone, of your cell phone, if you are using those things for your business. In addition, your water bill can be deducted. The cost of home insurance, because you need water, for example, to survive, and that's where you live, and you're going to be drinking water during the course of working in your home business. You're also going to be using water to clean things as part of your home business. You need to have home insurance for your what you're operating your business through. That's deductible. You see here it says NIMO. That's basically the name of our energy company, so you can deduct your electricity bills here. You could also deduct, believe it or not, the cost of lawn care, or if you live in somewhere snowy like I do in Syracuse, New York, the snowplow bill. You could enter that as well. Think about it, you need your driveway to be plowed properly. So if you're using a snowplow service, you need it plowed so you could have USPS pickups, for example. Or if you don't have a pickup, you just need to be able to get out of your driveway so that you can operate your business effectively. So lawn care is counted in there as well, because now not everyone who's doing this obviously has a sign pinned outside their door in which they are running their business, but you do want to make sure that you have a nice looking outside of your house where you are running your business. And so that is something that you are able to deduct. Any home repair that you need to do, that also can be deducted. And over here, as an aside, I also have some additional profits that you might want to account for over the course of the year. So I make a small commission through Amazon, for example, through Amazon affiliate links in my description section of my YouTube videos. Also, I make a small amount of money by links to eBay's partner network. So if anyone clicks on some of my eBay links and you purchase something through eBay, I make a small commission through there. So these are all examples of ways that you keep track of it. And basically what I do here is I just wrote the months out here to the side. You see here, January, February, March, April. So, let's say my bill is $200 for my cell phone bill right there. And let's just give some odd numbers here, 197. Let's say here it's 196. Let's say here it's 159. I'm just going to add in some random numbers. 123. 5. No, that doesn't make sense. 5. Let's say 200 again. And I'm just going to copy these right here and just enter them down here just to make this go a little bit faster. Okay, so the point is, I'm just showing you some numbers in these cells. It doesn't matter exactly what the numbers are really. But right here, you just hit function and then summary. Okay, it's going to capture F2 to F13. And there we go. We spent $21. Not $21. That would be nice. $2,150 on the Verizon cell phone bill over the course of the year. So that is something that you can put on your taxes for deduction. And that's how easy it is to just add it up. So, as I said in the first video, whatever program you want to use, it really depends on what your style is, how it is that you work, how big your business is. There's no one program that's going to work for everybody. Right now, this program works for me. It may come to a point one day where it doesn't. But right now, it works fine. It's free, doesn't cost anything. I have a system in place. Again, that's key. And if you have not, used a system like this to set up your accounting, especially if you're brand new, hopefully this video gives you some tips and suggestions on how to do that. Now, I am going to do at least one more video on accounting with Excel, in which I'm going to show you how you can actually use it to account for all the different parts of your expenses for the sale of a particular item with the exception of the purchase price of the original item. So here you can see we're accounting for the inventory in our cost section, but I'm going to show you how to actually use it to account for not only the shipping, but to also account for any taxes that you had to take out, eBay fees. So you could actually see, it's really cool, you can actually see how much you truly are profiting from the item that you sold. And you might be surprised, sometimes there's not as much profit into it as you might think if you do not do these steps that I'm going to show you in the next video. Now that one does require setting up some equations and things, and I'm going to show you how that's exactly set up in the next video. That would be the more complex version of how to do things, and it's a way that I basically do that to basically look at how much profit I'm bringing in on a particular collection that I purchased, and you know, I kind of want to break it down that way. It's also something that I use to keep track of my taxes for the state of New York, which I just filed yesterday. My state sales tax is what I'm referring to. So any of you who need to account for state sales tax, this video can you know, be something that helps you as well. So I'm going to show that in the next video that I do on bookkeeping. I can't promise it will be literally my next video, but the next one I do on bookkeeping, that's what I'm going to cover. In the meantime, if there's other bookkeeping type videos, accounting videos you'd like to see, please let me know that down below in the description section as a comment, and I will be happy to consider whether or not I could address that in a full video, or maybe I'll just respond in the comment section. So with that, make sure you like the video if you did like it, if you enjoyed it. Make sure that you hit the subscription button. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're at 912, so this is the race to the end here, to the 1,000. It'll be a big milestone. So if you could help me out with that, I would appreciate it. Also, if you have not joined yet, make sure you come to my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. We just went over 2,500 members in that group. It is such a super supportive group of resellers. You will love it in there. Please come on by. It's free, does not cost you anything, and love to see you in there as a member. Lastly, just make sure you follow me on my Instagram account. That's at Primetime Treasure, no S. And that's where I will also provide you some preview clips of videos that may be coming out that evening or early in the morning, and also just some brief 45, 60-second video clips that show you some things of interest to me sometimes that occur during the course of the day that don't warrant a separate YouTube video. So it's a way to get some exclusive content if you'd like to see that you don't see here on this particular channel. So with that, I've got to package up a Masters of the Universe He-Man item. Excited to do that and make that sale, and I will see everyone at the next video. Take care, everyone.